Okay.
2nd of August, Rabbi Levitt, Horeb.
Okay, so we're in Bechor. We're in Bechor, and we're trying to figure out this. It's very whatever. Jew, which the Jew must hand over to his property.
Miller just lobbed a message way over Jim.
Don't know. Okay, so we have two choices. If you want, we could take a look in the Shulchan Aruch Yordea.
30% back.
See if we could get some idea of what's the din over there. And I'm sure that I'm sure that if we do that, we would be able to understand what the din is, and whatever. So it's your choice.
Let's go for the din.
Okay. We'll learn some Shulchan Aruch Yordea today. Yeah, it's not in the Mishnah Berurah, because Mishnah Berurah is only Orach Chaim, and it's even not in the. I don't think it's in the Kitzur either. Kitzur doesn't cover subjects of Yisur V'Heter. That's Yordea. Shin. Sure. Okay, here we go with the big book. Let's see. Here we have a Shulchan Aruch. So it's in Shin Chaf. See? Wow, look at this. You've got you think it's a small subject, huh? We've got here Pidyon Bechor. Starts. Here it is, Hilchos Pidyon Bechor, Shin Hey. So that's 305. And we got to go to 320. "15 Simonim in Shulchan Aruch about redeeming a Bechor."
Wow.
Now let's see over here. That's incredible. Here we are, Shin Chaf. Oh, okay. There's only 7 sections. There's only 7 sections over here in the Siman. So let's see. We'll start from the beginning. Okay, so Shin Chaf, it says over here, Mihem achaye hayachayavim b'bechor behema tahora b'dine shutafut oved kochavim, who's obligated in the mitzvah of this of redeeming the firstborn kosher animal, and the dinim of if you're in a partnership with this animal with a idol worshiper. That's our subject. So, oh, here's a question for you. Is a Cohen obligated if he's a cattle rancher and he has a firstborn animal? Is he obligated to give this firstborn animal to a fellow Cohen? What happened? Oh, wow! The weight of my sefer over here couldn't support my my little desk extender over here. So, okay, fine. So the Shulchan Aruch says, Kohanim Ulevim are also chayav in Bechor Behema Tahora. V'yafrishenu HaKohen v'yakvenu liatzmo. Oh, he says he's got to do the mitzvah, which means he's got to, whatever that entails, he's got to separate the animal from the flock. And then what does he got to do with it? Yakvenu liatzmo. He can keep it for himself because he's also a Cohen. Or Levi too could do the same thing. Okay, well, that's nice. Okay, now. Okay. Behemas hashutafin chayavin chayavis b'bechora. Shutfis ovid kochavim poter. If a person is in a shutfis with a goy, so then that exempts him, that exempts the Jew of the mitzvah of pidyon bechor with this animal. Okay, so that's what we know. Oh boy, here we get to these complications over here. Okay. Now here's what this Shulchan Aruch says over here. Let's try to make it as simple as we can. Bisman hazeh, today, in our times, meaning we're many Jews live in Chutz La'aretz. We don't have a Beis Hamikdash. Mitzvah l'shatev. Oh, because what did we learn about a bechor? It's we learned that Meiser Behema is brought on the Mizbeach and eaten by the Bailim. It does not given to a Kohen. But this animal is given to a Kohen. So what's the difference whether he got a Beis Hamikdash or not? It's not going to go on the Mizbeach. It belongs to the Kohen. Unless you'll say, well, let's see what he says. Unfortunately, I don't know all the halachas of Bechoros, but I'm not sure why he says Bisman hazeh. Anyway, let's go over here. We're just seeing how it goes. Bisman hazeh, mitzvah l'shatev im ha'ovid kochavim kodem sheyotza la'aver ha'olam kedei lepatroi bi ha'bechora. That's the din. And that's that story that I told you about that cattle rancher in some little town in Massachusetts that contacted the Boston Rebbe 50 or 60 years ago. What a Jew has to do if he's the sole owner of this animal, and he knows that this mother is going to give birth, and he knows that it's the first born of this mother. So he got a bechor over here. So he's got a mitzvah of pidyon bechor. So what should we do? Bisman hazeh, says the Shulchan Aruch, before the baby comes out into the Avir Ha'olam, in order to pater the Jew from his obligation of bechora, he should be mishatef. He should partner up with an Ovid Kochavim in the animal, and like that, he will be exempt from the mitzvah of pidyon bechor. Afapi shemafkia kedushasoy, and even though in so doing he's ruining the kedusha of this animal. It's got no kedusha now. Nevertheless, so you'll say, how can he do that? Is this something that the Torah, the Shulchan Aruch is telling us, this is what we should do? So there, he says, even though that's going to happen, Achi adif tfei kedei shelo yavo lidei mikshol lehanot mimenu begiza uba avoida. This is nevertheless the prescribed mahalach, recommended operating procedure according to the Shulchan Aruch. Why? Because like that, he's going to avoid any mikshol, any type of an indiscretion or a mistake in violating the halacha of a bechor, which has full kedusha, of not working it at all and not shearing it at all. This animal is also begizva avoda. Ve'im yikne la'ovid kochavim chelik uber, if the non-Jew acquires a interest, a monetary interest in the fetus, in the unborn fetus, ein hakinyan chal, it doesn't work. So don't do it, says the Shulchan Aruch. It's not going to work. Why? Lefisha hu davar shaloi bo la'olam. This is a big sugi. I think we had it in Bava Kama. You cannot, there cannot be a transaction. Cannot be a successful transaction in a case of a davar shelo bo la'olam. A fetus has not come into the world yet. So in terms of buying and selling, you can't do it. You got to buy and sell something that's in the world. Therefore, what the goy should do is what the Jew should do is cause the non-Jew to acquire a portion of the mother, because she is in the world. Kinyan yeyesh yikabel pruta mea ovid kochavim v'yakneloi hamakom shehabehema omedes sham v'hamakom yiknelo chelik be'em. Oh, okay. So the Rav Hirsch also mentioned this as well, that the kinyan should, what type of a kinyan should be done. Shulchan Aruch doesn't mention what the Rav Hirsch said to do a kinyan mashicha, but he did mention this over here, that this is going to be a kinyan agav the karka. How do you acquire this behema? It's agav, a kinyan of the karka. He's going to kinyan yeshi kabel pruta. He's not really, you want to make sure that the goy does this, right? So if you're going to charge him any money, and he's not gonna want to do it. So tell him, look, you could give me 5 cents. You give me a pruta. You give me 5 cents, and here, I'll even give you the 5 cents. Here's the 5 cents. I'm marking it to you the 5 cents, and now you got the 5 cents, and now you gonna give me the 5 cents as payment, and then I'm gonna be marking it to you the ground that the behemoth is standing under, and like that, they're going to be what's called they acquire the karka, monetary interest in the karka, and like that, they're going to be a kinyan agav. The makom will acquire for the non-Jew a chelik in the mother. Oh, and the Ramah adds, "V'kabel ma'ot min ha'ovid kochavim." He should take the 5 cents from the non-Jew. V'yimshoch habehema l'rishuto, and he should do a kinyan meshicha to draw the animal into his rishus, or the simta, or to a alleyway, to oz meshucha koina. Like that, the meshicha will be koina. Oh, so that's an alternative way of kinyan. The first kinyan was not with a meshicha. Okay, fine. So either meshicha, either kinyan agab the karka. Okay. Now, where was this strange halacha that the Rav Hirsch mentioned about what he says over here? This can be done by a formal purchase. The non-Jew must make a money payment in exchange for which the Jew must hand over to him the property in a limb of the uv. That what he means to say, he will. Yeah, what does he mean to say? What does he mean to say over here? He must hand over to him the property in a limb of the ewe upon which its life depends. You know what? I'm going to say like this, based upon. Let's just see that was what the Shulchan Aruch had to say about it. Let's just see the very last section over here in this siman. I'm not sure that it's relevant at all, but I'll read it. I'll just skim it over just to see if it has something that refers to what Hirsch said. I'm a kabul son bin ovid kochavim b'mamen katsu a pasuk imo sheyeh haschar b'neihem v'im pachasoy hachsor leYisrael afal pi shebershus Yisrael hey v'im loy kikinyanoi v'im loy yimso ovid kochavim etzlo mamen ligvois mimenu yigba mea behema ha'ela umi vladu sehem nasa kemish sheyesh lo achrayus. Okay. Yeah, so I don't think that that's what Rav Hirsch was talking about. Yeah, definitely what he was talking about, Rav Hirsch, is related to what he said above. He said that even a thousandth, a 1/1000th of a chelik of the animal is already enough to free the obligation of bechor. Now, this is the point. If that chelik that the non-Jew acquires is limited to one limb, this is sort of like a technicality over here that I didn't see in the Shulchan Aruch itself. But if it's limited to one limb, it's got to be a limb that's Chaim Tuluyim Bo. That if that'd be a very important limb. That without that limb, the animal would become a treifa, or it would become a Baal Mum. Oh, so maybe that is the point. If well, okay. Now, when the right of offering up the Bechor does not exist today, because maybe he means to say he could offer it up as a korban. But I thought it was Mammon Cohen. Duty of rearing the Bechor may easily be neglected. It's obligation to give some part of it to the non-Jew before he gives birth. Blah blah blah. Yeah, this is done by formal purchase, in exchange for which the Jew must hand over to him the property in a limb of the youth. Yeah, so this is what we don't. Okay, so this is. I'll tell you what. The wording over here is very, very misleading, like we said yesterday. But I think all Rev Hirsch means over here is he's speaking in a very flowery way. They should hand over to him the property of in the limb of the animal. Really, what he doesn't mean to say physically. He means to say monetarily in terms of the transaction. In terms of the transaction, for this pruta, nominal amount that he's willing to acquire. So he now officially acquires this chelik of the animal to exempt from the mitzvah of Bechor. So that's all Rav Hirsch means. When Rav Hirsch says over here, it sounds very funny when we read it in English over here. But I'll tell you the truth, it could be that it sounded very funny in German as well. It's just a very flowery lashon. It doesn't mean in a literal sense that he's handing over to him the limb or the head or the lung of the animal. That's not what he means. Because that's not what he means. But what he means to say is that the Jew has to be makna. He has to cause the non-Jew in exchange for the pruta that the non-Jew gave. He's going to hand over, so to speak, meaning to cause the non-Jew to acquire an ownership interest in that limb. And I believe that's all Rav Hirsch means over here. It's just a flowery lashon. And we would have thought about it before we opened up the Shulchan Aruch. We probably would have been able to figure that on our own, but I was a bit concerned. I didn't realize that that's all that it was. But in any case, we learned a little bit about Pidyon Bechor. Okay. So with that, we will continue. Oh, that's what happened. Oh, boy. Oh, that's too bad. Okay. The stender broke altogether. Okay, I gotta have to fix it. That's really too bad. Okay. That's too bad. Okay. I guess we'll fix it for the 34th time, or we'll go get a new stender. That is a present, though, so I don't want to give it away. Okay. Okay. So we have the last section over here. Alan, would you like to read? 299.
I don't have it. Shulchan Aruch? Is that what you're saying?
No.
Oh.
No, we're finished with the Shulchan Aruch.
Oh.
Okay. Okay, so where we are is we're in the Sefer. We're in the Sefer, what's it called again? Horeb. And we're in section 299, which is the last section of Bechor. Oh, that's what it was. Okay, so that's what we understand. The way the mitzvah went in the time of Mesa Mikdash, the animal was given the animal was given to a Kohen to be his property, 100%, but he had to offer up the animal as a korban, shlomim, provided it had no blemish, the kosher korban, or if it had a blemish, he could use it as his own property. That's what we read in section 296. So that's, I think, what the Shulchan Aruch mentions over here. That would be the obligation, yeah, in the time of Beis Hamikdash. Okay. Oh, so now that it can't be given to, that it can't be brought as a korban in the Beis Hamikdash. Okay, I got my own questions. Okay, Alan, 299. You got a red mic, so you gotta remove your red mic so we could hear you.
Okay, number 299.
299. It's on page 195. Page 195, section 299.
Okay. Sefer Bechor, right? If the firstling of a right, if the firstling of a sheas is a male, you may not use it before you've redeemed it with a lamb or with the full value of a lamb. After it has been redeemed, both are free for any use. The ass for its own owner, the lamb or the redemption money for the Kohen. If you do not redeem it, you must have it slaughtered by an axe in the neck. Kohanim and Levites and also Kohanoth and Levioth do not come under this obligation of redeeming. In the case of joint ownership with a non-Jew, the appropriate laws of more to Horor apply. Similarly, too, in the case of joint ownership with a Kohen, you must not, however, enter into such joint ownership in order to evade the duty of redeeming, as you can still discharge the duty of redemption fully in these days when there is no temple. In doubtful cases, the male ass should be redeemed with a lamb, and both animals may be kept by the owner.
Oh boy. Wow. Okay. So Okay, so just let's go over it again so we can understand what's going on over here. We're talking about a firstborn donkey.
Right.
So it's not an animal that can be brought on the Mizbeach, but nevertheless, you may not use it before you have it redeemed
Right.
with a lamb. Or he says with the monetary value of a lamb. That's interesting. Didn't know that. So then, after it's been redeemed, the donkey is free to use for any use, and as well the lamb or the redemption money can be used by the Kohen for any usage. But then, so you should redeem it. If you don't redeem it, so then it's got to be. Then you have to do. You have to shecht it in an unpleasant way. So, and okay, and who's obligated in the mitzvah? Yisrael is, but not a Kohen, and not his not his daughter, and a Levi, and also not his daughter. Now, this is what was confusing. In the case of joint ownership, if the animal is jointly owned with by a non-Jew, so then the laws of Behemoth Tahora apply. Whatever that means? Not sure what that means. But then he says, similarly to in the case of joint ownership with a Kohen. Not sure what that means either. We'll skip that. You must not, however, this is what I want to focus on. You must not, however, enter into such a joint ownership in order to evade the duty of redemption. That you cannot do. In other words, you got an obligation of pidyon. So do that obligation of pidyon. See, because you can still discharge the duty of redemption fully even today, when we don't have a Beis Hamikdash. Okay. So, but we didn't. But this is by a donkey. But by a this is what we say by a donkey, because you have an easy way out of removing it from being unavailable for usage by redemption. So do the redemption, but you're not allowed really to get out of the of that obligation of redemption by selling a portion of it to a non-Jew, which is not the case. Which is not the case in the case of a bull, a kosher animal, a lamb, a goat. That we do allow you to do that. We do allow you to do that because why? Because we said, Shulchan Aruch said the reason why was because it would be a big problem to avoid making any forbidden usage of the animal or not shearing the animal. So for that reason we allow in the case of a kosher animal to do that. Because there's really no other alternative. There's no other alternative. That's the difference. In the case of a donkey, there's a redemption of it, which releases it of its kedusha. But by a kosher animal, there's no redemption that can be done to release it from its kedusha. It's got to be given to a Kohen, and the Kohen's got to bring it as a korban shlomim. If there's Beis Hamikdash, if there's not a Beis Hamikdash, there's not that alternative, but there's also not that alternative of pidyon. There's no possibility of a pidyon of a kosher animal. So the only thing that could be done is it's going to remain with its kedusha, and it's going to remain with this Isser Gizu Avoda forever. So that's why over there the Shulchan Aruch says that we're allowed to avoid that obligation and sell a portion of it to a non-Jew to get out of to take it down from its kedusha. Okay, good. And a round of applause for Bechor. Hey! Wow, that was an amazing topic that Rev Hirsch enlightened our eyes to so many principles and halachas that he taught us over here. Okay, that was really something. Okay, so that's Rev Hirsch's discussion about Bechor. Okay, so we have a few more minutes left. So with those few more minutes, we could read the new section 42.
Dash, Orla, and
Adash, Orla, and Chala.
And the Lord spoke unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say to them, When ye are coming into the land which I give unto you, and shall reap the harvest thereof, then ye shall bring the sheaf of the firstfruits of your harvest unto the priest, and he shall wave the sheaf before the Lord to be accepted for you on the morrow after the Shabbos, and the priest shall wave it. And the day that ye wave the sheaf, ye shall offer a he-lamb without a blemish of the first year for a burnt offering into the land. And the meal offering thereof shall be 2/10 part of an ephah of fine flour mingled with oil, an offering made by fire unto the Lord for a sweet savor, and the drink offering thereof shall be of wine, the 4th part of a hin, and you shall eat neither bread nor parched corn, nor fresh ears until the selfsame day, until you have brought the offering of your Lord. And it is a statute for forever throughout your generation and all of your dwellings.
Okay, so that I think is the mitzvah of Chodesh, the first wheat. Okay. Okay. You want to continue? We got a minute left.
Next part, Leviticus 23, 9-14. And when ye shall come into the land, and you shall have planted all manner of trees for food, and you shall count the fruit thereof as forbidden. 3 years shall it be forbidden unto you, and it shall not be eaten. In the 4th year, all the fruit thereof shall be holy, for giving praise unto the Lord. But in the 5th year, you may eat of the fruit thereof, that it may yield unto you more richly, and increase thereof. I am the Lord your God. And the Lord spoke unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, When you come into the land which I bring you, then it shall be that when you eat of the bread of the land, you shall set apart a portion for a gift unto the Lord. Of the first of your dough you shall set apart a cake for a gift, as that which is set apart of the threshing floor, and you shall set it apart. Of the first of your dough you shall give unto the Lord a portion for gift throughout your generations.
Okay. So that was the mitzvah of challah, a precious challah, to set aside a portion of the bread that you're baking. Okay, and the second mitzvah was the mitzvah of Orla. To the first 3 years of a fruit-bearing tree, any fruit that does come from those first 3 years is totally forbidden to eat. And in the 4th year, then it has to be brought up to Yerushalayim or redeemed. And only in the 5th year, you're able to eat from the fruit freely. And the first mitzvah was the mitzvah of Chodesh, and we certainly don't have time to explain the mitzvah of Chodesh right now. It would take a lot more than 2 seconds. So, but very good. We started a new section, and wish everybody a wonderful Shabbos.
Okay, good.
Besuros Tovos. We should hear good news. Bezrat Hashem.
Thank you, Levi. Have a good Shabbos. Have a good Shabbos, Edmund.
Good Shabbos. All the best, Lou. All the best, Alan.